It's Nik Mesney with Andy Morrison after the Nomads 2-0 victory at Rugby Park over Kilmarnock. Andy, possibly, if not definitely, the greatest result in Welsh Premier League history in Europe?
Yeah, it's a fantastic result, something we dreamt about, and our preparation was based around getting to half-time at 0-0 and then, exposing ourselves a touch in the second half. Sometimes, the hand of fate is with you, and last week it wasn't in the last minute, which I suffered for a long time, for many days before we picked ourselves up again. And then we've done something magical tonight, and I just think the Welsh League should be so proud. The Welsh Premier League has come to a Scottish Premier League team, and we've beat them 2-0, and I think that's testament to the strength and the improvement in our league, and also the character of my team. Because what they've done tonight, Nick, it's beyond belief. I'm still pinching myself a little bit at this moment in time.
An absolutely amazing performance, but you could have even been 1-0 up after 9 minutes as well, and could have been even better potentially.
Yeah, it was. Listen, the game was difficult because, in contrast to last week with the referee, who I thought was very fair and let things go. We were punished harshly tonight, for fouls, and I thought they went to ground too easy, too often. And we were strong, we were men, we stood up, and
a few bookings given, perhaps they shouldn't have been.
Yeah, that probably weren't, but that's football, and it's going to take a time to sink in, Nick. But like I said, for me and my staff, it's a fantastic achievement, and like Nick, I said it so many times now, mate, we don't get the credit we deserve. If Quay had brought in AC Milan's under-23 coach, and he was called Andreas Morrisiani, and he came here and won 2-0, everybody would be saying, we need to look at that performance, we need to see how he done it. But it's not, it's Andy Morrison, so it's just down to aggressive team and being organised, and I know there's a far greater detail in what we do against these very strong teams and against superior opposition. I know how we stop them, and like I said, maybe people will just start taking a little bit more notice of what we're actually doing at this football club. I'm incredibly proud, and the boys are out on their feet, and the realism of it, Nick, is that these boys will be back at 5 o'clock in the morning, and I think 5 of them have got work tomorrow, and then we've got to prepare for Serbia next week. And fantastic. It's a magical night for Quay, magical night for Welsh football, and long may it continue. And for me, we've come here and beat the Scots. I bring the Serbians on. I'm not bothered. We'll stand toe to toe with anyone. I said that before the game. Technically, physically, these players are probably, which is another thing. Coming into games, and I'm looking in the tunnel before the game, and I'm saying that 8 of their players are physically taller and physically stronger and bigger than my players. But they'll come off the pitch and they'll say, oh, they were physical, they were aggressive, they're big and strong. That's not what you see in the tunnel. But when you get on the pitch with the size of the heart of these boys, they just grow another 2 or 3 inches. And and I think that's that comes from Craig, Jay and myself installing that belief in them, that we can achieve anything if we stick together and we're men. And that's important, that you have to be men to win games of football. Which brings me on to little comments that I saw in the Scottish press, before this game, that they'll definitely beat us 6-0, and he hopes it's 10-0. But the point to that, Nick, is men don't roll over and die 6-0. No. Men stand up and be counted. Soft people roll over. My players don't do that.
We use the hashtag on our Twitter of Nomads never die, and tonight was the absolute epitome of that.
Yeah, it is. And like I say, we've got to enjoy the night, and bring our feet back on the ground and very quickly and go again, because that's the realism of football. Yes, we've done this, but we want to go and do the league proud again next week against the Serbians. Red Star Belgrade. It's Partizan, sorry. And it's a fantastic opportunity for us again to challenge ourselves again, man to man. 11 men versus 11 men, and tonight. I asked the players, I said, if 7, 8, 9 of you turn up and you win your individual battles and you drive home and you've lost the game, I said, you're all men. I said, you're all men. You're all winners. I said, regardless of the result. And they've shown that tonight, and it's going to be a fantastic trip down the road. And and like I say, the lads have got to drive home and go to work tomorrow, so I don't think there'll be too much drink involved.